think you kind of introduced me yourself to cuisines from like areas that I had never, like countries that I had never even considered. One of them was not particularly in Toronto, but it was in New York when we went to eat at Queens.
The Bhutanese
Yes,
place,
yes.
yeah.
So you actually introduced me to so many new
That
foods,
was
and
my first time trying it too.
yeah,
I
that's true.
yeah. Do you know Deepika Padukone?
Of
This is
course.
like complete tangent,
No,
but
of course I know
there's
her.
like this viral video of her talking about the cheese dish that we had, and she talked about it in a video, and she was like, "Oh, there's this like pickle equivalent thing that people eat in Bhutan, and it's a cheese with chilies situation." And I looked up basically and everywhere in the US you could find it, and it was obviously New York had it. It's like this needs to be on our list. So that's how
1000%.
that's I was inspired by Deepika.
Thank you,
Thank
our
you, Queen.
Bollywood queen. Hi, everyone.
Hey everybody.
I'm Amina,
And I'm Uneza.
and welcome to the Migratory Pod.
What's the first stop in the spiral of your story? Today is a pretty special episode. We're going to be talking about our childhoods, particularly our relationship to some of our favorite foods and our dads. I've spoken a lot about my dad, but he's going to be featured on this one as a little story time situation again, and we'll be talking a little bit more about Amina's dad too.
We brought some goodies with us to this episode, and when we open them, we will sort of talk about why we chose these specific items. But it's like a little nod to my mom's side of the story.
Lovely. And the items we're talking about are food items, so we will be eating on this episode.
Yeah,
I have,
consider this our mukbang.
yeah, I have a pretty big meal to get through. Amina
Cool.
has like a little snack,
Little
right?
bitch dessert.
Yeah, a little bitch dessert.
Yes, I do. What did you bring, Nice?
I brought a soup, like a hearty bowl of soup. Should I
If you
show it?
can
I'll
you?
try. I've got this Vietnamese soup. It's a shrimpy situation. I don't know if I
Ah,
Ooh.
careful, careful, careful.
Yeah, I can't really do any
Yeah,
more than
no, no,
that,
no, no.
but it's gorgeous. I'm super excited.
And actually, I'll show you what I brought, is lava shuck.
Ooh.
So lava shuck is, you know what? Let's get to it when the time comes. But yes, this episode is all about food. It's a special one because it's kind of where the whole podcast stemmed from, is our food page. So Uneza and I oftentimes even in the summer of 2018, we really bonded over our love of food and love for talking about food and why we like certain things.
It was that like mutuality of I'd never met anyone that loved food as much as Amina, as myself, and it was just so beautiful. Really
It
made that romance go like
like 10 times,
10
yeah,
times. We
exactly.
tried so
Tenfold.
many different restaurants.
We honestly ate our way through the whole
Yeah.
summer. We ate our way through the city. And it's not just like liking food, it's like having a deep appreciation and curiosity for food and respect. I don't know how to really elaborate on that, but we do have a respect for like
Different
quality
cuisines.
and
Yeah, good
yeah,
quality food.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Anyway, so I guess we'll kick things off from you and your dad's influence on your taste buds. Let's
Yeah.
yeah, kick it away.
So, I think I've spoken about this in one previous episode. My dad spent a big part of his life in Singapore, and by virtue of that, and we nodded to this a little bit in that episode as well. We spoke a bit about how he was influenced by food,
Yep.
but we'll really deep dive into that today. So a lot of my growing up years were filled with like very lavish meals. My dad really liked to host. And part of that hosting was food, a huge part of it. And so we would have guests over almost every Friday, which was like basically the Sunday in the UAE back then. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember, but like the weekend was
Yeah.
not what it is today.
Used to be, what is it? Sunday to
Yeah, we would have
Friday.
school
To
Sunday
Thursday.
morning.
Yeah.
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 I think Saturday was Sunday and Friday was like Saturday
Saturday.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that like middle day off and Fridays were off because, it's a Muslim country and Fridays we needed them off.
It's our equivalent of
The
the
Sunday.
Sunday prayer.
Yeah. So whenever Friday would roll around, my dad would host these gatherings pretty much almost every single Friday.
Yeah.
And part of, I guess, having these people over was the food, like I said. And one of the most classic things that he would do were these chili crabs that were heavily inspired by Singaporean chili crabs, but instead of so in Singapore, what they do is the sauce, I suppose, is
Mm-hmm.
made with ketchup, eggs, and a bunch of other spices. So it's a bit sweet tasting. There are spices, but
The
he
fact that
tweaked it.
ketchup is in it is mind blowing for me.
Yeah. And,
Like,
and the word ketchup itself comes from like a Malay word.
really?
Yeah, it comes
Huh.
from so it's I think that's how the British came up with it, like because they went, or not the British, maybe the Dutch, but basically the word ketchup, they have another seasoning. It's like a dark soy sauce, which is sweet. It's
Mm.
called ketchup manis, and
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
go back and read, but I'm pretty sure that's where it comes from. But then, ketchup as we know it today is like a tomato sauce,
Sweet and vinegar and
sweet
yeah.
vinegary
Yeah.
sauce, but they do put ketchup in their chili crabs, and obviously ketchup is not the most palatable thing for the
Y-
Pakistani
Yeah.
palate. So he tweaked it and he made it like a tomato base with something super iconic. Pakistani Shan fish masala. That's his secret ingredient. I feel like he would murder me if I made this like very public, but whatever.
It is
It's
what
his
it is.
genius, honestly.
Yeah.
And it goes so well. And so he would make this sauce and toss these crabs in the sauce. And the sauce was like the beauty of, like, it was the star of the show. And I think
This might be a dumb
traditionally,
question, sorry,
yeah,
but the crabs are cooked crabs.
yeah, cooked
Yeah.
crabs.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not doing the raw
The
marinated
raw.
crab. That's like
Yeah.
a notch up.
Yeah.
But he would make these crabs and we would like devour the
Mm.
sauce. He was so loving also with just, cracking them open for us. I would never have to touch them and he would just, open because they're hard. I think when
Yeah.
you're young especially you can't maneuver the
No,
crab
I
really
have the
well.
equivalent of that. My dad would do that with shrimp. Like it's
Yeah.
just the same thing. It's a like little thing of love where you like
Yeah, love
feel it for
language.
your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would open them up for us. My sister, I think at the time didn't start eating them, but like now she does. And I think she really misses them because she didn't make the most out of that time when it
Mm.
was available to us. Like my dad doesn't make crabs anymore. But when he did, she wasn't eating them as often. And I know that she like really
Likes it.
misses and
Mm.
she wishes she got more of that. She really started, venturing out with food a little bit later in life. Even though
Mm.
we're a pretty adventurous family with food, we're all very food curious. She's gotten to
Yeah.
that stage now. So, a little bit of a late awakening, but yeah, we would like lap up the sauce with the rice and I think we would have other
Mm.
things as well, but crabs were really the star of the show.
Oh my God, that sounds so good. Where would he get the
The
stuff
goods
from?
from?
Yeah.
You would get the good, like the crabs from Karama. If anyone knows Dubai, like the freshest seafood that you can get is at the Karama fish
Mm.
market. I wouldn't go because there were way too many cats.
Oh yeah. Neza is deathly afraid of it. I mean, so am I, but Neza's on another level.
No, you've house sat a cat before. I don't have the balls to do that. But I did touch a cat for the first time in my
You did.
life, like recently.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my first time actually, because I've touched like a fluffier dog-looking cat once before. Like it really
A
the
dog-looking cat.
yeah. You know what it is about cats that I don't like?
Mm.
that their ears have like that devilish, like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
like that. If it's like droopy, I'm good.
Interesting. It's the
Yeah,
ears for you.
it's the ears for me.
For me,
Makes
it's like how agile they are. Like, ugh.
that too. I don't like how unpredictably they move.
Yeah.
They look like they're about to sneak up on you at
And
any
like
moment.
scratch you. Like I was actually there was a cat. Sorry, we're going off topic completely, but there was a cat in my backyard. Like all the whole time I was in Dubai, like literally
Oh,
recently. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ugh.
And it was our neighbor. No, but I actually like liked it. That's how I got turned to it a little bit because it was our neighbor's cat and it was like a fluffy white one and it was really freaking cute and it would come to our garden every single day at 7 a.m. to drink water. So I got like warmed up to it. And then the cat scratched me, blood everywhere. Like it was, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, my opinion is not gonna change. Fuck cats.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
went close, touched it, hung out with it.
Yeah, and I played with it, and it was getting like really cute and stuff. And then I got a little too excited, and apparently cats don't like energy. It's not like dogs where you can be like,
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
And with cats, if you like, I guess, show too much energy, they feel like you're going to, I don't know, attack them. I don't know, they feel threatened or something. And so it scratched me, and like super, like it was
Deep.
bleeding. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fucking loser. Yeah, like that's why I don't like cats. But anyway, I wouldn't go to the fish market because cats everywhere.
yeah.
And strays as well, like skinny, nasty looking cats. Sorry, cat lovers. I feel like I am gonna get so much hate for all this cat slander,
You know
but
what's even worse? The baby cats.
not a fan.
Yeah.
But yes, I would never go. But that's where he would get the crabs from, among other seafood. We ate a
Yeah.
lot of fish, lots of shrimp, and then the crabs. Yeah. So he would go to Karama the morning of, bring them. I think they came home live and they were like in these like little zip ties so that they wouldn't
Oh,
claw. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the like they would be in, yeah, I think you get them from the water. Like they put them
Yeah.
in like a little bit of water and you grab them.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure this is info I should have verified,
Okay.
but I do think so because now when I think about it, like why we don't eat the crabs, I'm sure it's because
Mm,
there was a lot of work involved that my dad can't really do on his own. And he's a lot older now.
gotcha.
But yeah, so we would get them from Karama and then, he would cook them, prepare, and then, the gatherings would begin.
And I feel like this is something you will carry on to your family once you or when you have.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I've never done anything with crabs before. Like frozen, yes, but not that way. Maybe I'll have to like learn. Maybe when we go back to Dubai, my dad has like a
Mm,
day to like kind of teach me. I would love
yeah.
to carry forward that legacy. But it would entirely depend on my partner and whether they would be supportive of this or not.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Why doesn't he make it anymore?
Crabs are super
Mm,
expensive out here, and then we had help as well. We had house help in Dubai, so like a lot of things were just
yeah.
easier. We don't see a lot of people, and it was really part of like the whole like
Mm,
we have guests over. This is like a special treat, and we don't
right.
really have that many people that come over. We would always have, family from Pakistan or just people that we knew from community that would come over and
Yeah.
hang out, like my parents' friends, my friends' parents. Even Samya has been over a bunch of times, and
Really?
the crabs have been around. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My parents used to have those as well, or like our equivalent again. But like, funnily enough, ours was when we were in Montreal, not in Dubai. Maybe because my parents went to university in Montreal, so like a lot of their friends came from that era. But yeah, we used to have, and I was super young, but like so many gatherings. So many people were over at our house all the time, and to me, that's like a really distant thing. Like it's has not happened ever since we moved to Dubai for us. I was
Oh
8.
wow.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Because in Dubai, like my mom had trouble actually forming connections, but that's a whole different episode. But yeah, I mean, point is we've at least in present day that sense of community is not in my family anymore, which is so weird. Because it's like they used to host parties and dance and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I relate to that, and it's also a pretty distant thing for me now. I think it's been a good 15 years since.
That's pretty
For you,
significant
pretty
still.
long as well, right? Much
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss those times.
Eat away.
Should I
Eat
start?
your feelings away.
Okay, let me get this bowl a little bit closer. Hopefully nothing falls on me. Get into your story.
Wait, what's the Bismillah, I guess? Because
Bismillah.
Onesa's gonna say sahtin, which
Okay.
means after you eat.
Which
Getting it
like I
getting it
think
wrong since
I'm
2000?
so colonized. I'm like, okay, bon appetit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Oh my God. I'm just realizing that I'll be watched. People
Eating.
will watch me eat.
Well, yes. I'm telling you, this like actually falls under the category of like this is a mukbang. Like we're hosting a mukbang. Ooh, what was that? That was shrimp?
It's a shrimp meatball. It's so
Mm.
good. They have these delicious toppings. There's like fried onions, fried peanuts, fried garlic, these shrimp meatballs. I think these are like garlic chives.
Mm.
And then you know how they give you this bag, like not bag, but they give you this assortment of herbs with pho. So I have
Yeah.
like a bag full of goodies here, which I'll be dunking in there at some point. But yeah.
Beautiful. There's so many similarities. Like it's interesting just because it's like in obviously entirely different regions, but seafood is really big in my family too. And I think we both have a taste for it. Like even recently, we've been very much craving seafood, and we've been wanting to try. Like when we went to New York, it was all about that, like
Bro,
caviar
Sydney, first day, the
and
fish
Sydney. Oh
market.
my God, how do I forget Sydney? Yeah, yeah, first date.
Yeah. Very
Oof.
disappointing oysters, but everything else, oh,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I blocked that out of my memory, those oysters. Food's always been very important for Oneza and I. As we've said, it was a huge factor that kind of like solidified our friendship. And we, even though we've like expanded into this podcast, I don't know if I've already said this, but we do plan on continuing to post about food on our Instagram.
We definitely want to keep the same energy and keep talking about the things that we love and the thing that brought the migratory to be in the first place.
Yeah,
If you're interested in food like we are, you know, it
yeah.
would be a good place for you to learn some nerdy like tidbits about food.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts about it also is like how like the whole idea of like debunking food myths. I'm obsessed with that. Like I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm like so passionate about being like, no, you're wrong. Like let us tell you why. Like the chai post, or I don't know what else did we do about that.
Yeah, ketchup seems so seemingly white,
Yeah,
but like
ketchup was
you
a good
like
one.
exactly, we just spoke about that, but like you go back and you look at the origins and you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah. There's like a really fun fact about chimichurri, but I forgot now.
I feel like you've told me this. It's like
Yeah, it's such a fun fact. I think it's about the mispronunciation. Let me just pull it up. So there's two theories. Either that the word chimichurri came from a phonetic adaptation of the Basque word, I can't even pronounce that, meaning a mixture of several things in no particular order. And then the other theory, which is one that my dad told me, is that it was a mangled version of Jimmy Curry, who was a meat trader. And then with the pronunciation or like the accent, I guess it like went from Jimmy Curry to chimichurri.
that's wild.
So cute, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting. I feel like I've over the years developed a very East Asian, Southeast Asian like taste palette. Only recently I was like, I wish I was Vietnamese or I wish I was Thai. I'm not even joking because of the food.
Mm.
And I think just growing up and having access to all of that by way of my dad has made me really appreciate that and like crave it. I didn't crave it so much growing up, I think, because it was in so much like close access
Mm.
that I was like, okay, whatever, like this is kind of a given. Like my dad will always bring back
Yeah.
these things and we he's always making, you know, the curry crabs or he's always, you know, getting me to try these things. But it was when I moved away or like now that I live here where the Pakistani food is in abundance. There's a huge Vietnamese community here too, so I do have access to some of those flavors, although different, but it's kind of like close. It's in the neighborhood, so I have access to that, and I have such a growing appreciation for that, and really like I don't know, like I feel like taste-wise, that's where I belong.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like I love Indian and Pakistani food, but I don't feel very home
Yeah, no,
with
that's
it.
yeah.
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 But yeah, and I
Absolutely.
don't like the North American version of Thai food. I think Thai food is so hard to do anywhere else but like in Thailand. But like that spicy, sour, fresh, because there's so many fresh herbs involved in the cooking
Yeah.
in the cuisine that I find that like its closest cousin here is Vietnamese food. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I really go out of my way to get that, and that's why I'm having this bowl of beautiful goodness here today.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Drooling.
it's
I
really like
also like for that reason as well. Vietnamese food is one of my but I just think factually Vietnamese food is fucking spot on. Excuse my language, but like it has the perfect combination of like fresh and cooked oily meat. Like I don't know, there's
yeah.
like that's like the best blend. It's so good.
It's so ideal for like
Yeah.
even post hangover or post like just I don't drink that much, but like I
Neither.
imagine that like after a super rough night or something where like I just need something that's full of electrolytes and like sodium and protein and
It
just
hits the
fresh
spot.
herbs and
Yeah.
hot and just feels so good and like warm and fulfilling and comforting also.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a weird way to like it's comforting and warm but still fresh.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Yeah, I guess for me, there's a lot to say. First, before I dig in, again, this is lava shock. So lava shock is Iranian. I am not Iranian, as we know, but this has just been a food that's been on my bucket list for a long time. I've been wanting to try it for the longest time. Of course, it had a viral moment on TikTok last year, and I've always been skeptical because I don't like dried fruit, but I do like sour things, and we'll talk about that. I'm trying to open it. So that's why I'm curious to know how sour.
I'm so excited for you to try this. Oh, also we decided that we would have things today that we've never had before.
Yeah, exactly. These are all bucket list items that we've never had before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the soup I'm having, never had it before, and lava shock. I've never had that before either, but I'm not having
It
that
doesn't
today.
look super appetizing, but let's go.
Is it saucy?
Yeah, that's the thing. So the or delivery I was telling you earlier, the delivery like they kind of messed it up, but it's supposed to be rolls like that in
Mm-hmm.
sauce. Now the sauce is here, but it's supposed to have fresh pomegranate on top. So lava shack is a roll, like dried pomegranate. Is it pomegranate? Yeah, it's all pomegranate, and it's supposed to have fresh pomegranate on top as well as dried peaches and some type of raisin,
Yum.
some type of berry. But they missed. They didn't give me the toppings anyway.
They advertised it like that and they didn't give it to you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get my money back. They gave me a different order entirely.
Ugh.
This is kind of gross to be sure.
Dig in.
Like,
Yeah. This is like no comment.
holy shit. Oh my god.
Sounds moist.
Okay. It's very much like candy. It's like a gummy bear.
Like fruit leather, right? Pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, very sour. The sauce is sour cherry, I think.
Ooh, yum. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it making your eyes like, or do you have a tolerance to it now, like sour foods?
Oh, yeah. So sour foods, I've always loved them. One second. This isn't the main like topic of my side, like because the image is Paella. So we'll talk about my dad's side. But yeah, I mean, my mom, I guess in like Middle Eastern cuisine, but like Middle Eastern shared with Iran, obviously. We have a lot of sour salads. We use a lot of like you've heard salad Shirazi salad, which we have mixed feelings about because we eat the exact same salad in the Levant, but It's literally just a lot of raw onion, tomato and cucumber, and just like lemon and salt. Maybe a little bit of olive oil, but it's so sour. And then my mom also, like in her salads, adds a lot of vinegar, like apple cider vinegar. And I've eaten like those are that when I think of salads, that's what I think of. I don't think of I don't think of a Caesar salad. Like I think of
Yeah.
tangy and yeah. Um, and so yeah, I mean now I have kind of like I love anything sour and I crave vinegar. I do, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I just want to have like a shot of apple cider vinegar and
Wow.
it feels so good.
I'm not the biggest fan of vinegar, but the whole sour thing, I don't think I liked sour foods that much. Although growing up, my mom, just like yours, big like sour girly.
I
She would
actually ate a really good salad at your house that your parents made in Toronto, and I made a comment about how it's like exactly the way I love salads.
wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
My mom does salads exactly like you're saying with like a lot of vinegar, very citrusy. My mom is same thing. I think it's like a very female, feminine thing to eat sour foods.
Ooh, never thought about
Yeah,
it like that.
because my dad doesn't fuck with sour stuff.
My
And
dad loves it.
okay, wow.
Yeah.
I think more so now after being married to my mom, he's like a
Probably.
little bit more into sour things. But in Desi culture, there's like sayings about how pregnant women have sour cravings and that
Really?
you get sour cravings apparently like around your period.
Okay.
So that's why I like associate it with like a very feminine kind of
Oh, I
craving.
see.
Yeah.
I see. Wow, okay, interesting. Maybe it
Yeah,
is. Maybe my dad didn't like it at the beginning like yours and just like my mom put him onto it. Could be that.
possibly, but that was just like a fun fact about the way I think brown people think about it.
Sour foods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but on my dad's side, so I guess a bit more history because we in episode 3 we spoke about my mom, but my dad has his, and I did all this research yesterday. So my great grandmother from my dad's side, her family came from Muslim Spain. We weren't like the, I guess, indigenous Spanish people there. We were part of the Umayyad
Dynasty.
dynasty from Syria or modern day Syria. So we were still Arabs, but we were in Andalusia, Spain. If you want to explain it like factually, you can. But it really was just a period of time in Spain where it was under Muslim rule. And when they were exiled, like, yeah, went to Africa. I don't know why there was a link to North Africa, though. That I didn't quite understand that part. But I know that like the person who helped establish Andalusia was Berber from North Africa. He was just called upon by the Umayyad. Anyway, and so with the migration to Algeria from Spain, we kind of like brought in a lot of those cultures and made them our own. Actually, we didn't make them our own. We eat them in a very traditional sense. Like we didn't like make many amendments to it. I don't think so. But some of that, part of that is paella. And so paella is my version of Aneza's crabs. It sounds weird.
I guess the same thing that the equivalent of the Sunday family lunches
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly. And it was definitely like a part of our tradition. And I would be very curious to know if paella is found because I've never seen or even heard about like restaurants in Algeria that serve paella. I just know that it's a thing that we do at home. Like we have family friends that have the exact same traditions, like they eat
Wow.
that at home as well, and they relate to it the same way that we do. But seems to be a very like
Within families, like
within
within
homes. Yeah, exactly.
very domestic
Um,
thing. I mean,
yeah,
the restaurant versus like domestic cooking are two very different things, right?
they
Like
are.
you have fire grilled like kebabs, charcoal grilled kebabs that you will find at restaurants in Pakistan and in the home, in the domestic, like in the kitchen, you're not going to have that like grill vibe. So there's a huge distinction between what's available for like restaurant eating versus
Yeah.
home. And then I think the home is very much defined by traditions. And I think that history and that lineage whereas restaurant eating, yes, in some cases, but I think less the way that that kind of takes shape in the domestic. But that's so
Yeah.
interesting that you know so many other people that eat paella the same
Yeah.
exact way.
Yeah, exactly. It felt, I was like, wait, what? I really thought it was like unique to us, but yeah, it's very, very much shared. That and a few other things. I mean, there's also the culture in general, like language, like the some of the words, some Spanish words sound exactly like Arabic words. I don't know if you knew
Yeah.
that, but like azúcar, is an example or whatever. There's so many others, and I think there's more meals, but the main one was definitely paella. So, yeah, and I know, like you said, paella started out, or I guess in Spain they eat it with duck. Is it duck meat?
Rabbit meat.
Rabbit meat. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, do you guys break
No,
open a rabbit? Okay.
no, we do not break open a rabbit. I actually don't know why. Maybe I could call my dad and ask him. But we ate it with fish. Yeah, maybe we could.
Ooh, fish.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah. But I actually don't like. I'm not a big fish girl. Like, I mean, I am, but not like white dry fish. So I don't like it with paella. I like it with like shrimp. So the seafood portion. And so my dad stopped making it with fish and he made it with mussels, crabs, and jumbo like tiger shrimps, and calamari. Yeah,
Delicious.
delish. It was so, so, so good.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I think about it all the time. Actually, so both of the meals that we mentioned are that's the picture for this episode. Like the object, and that object, like the pictures are taken directly from. I don't know about yours. Is yours some that your dad made or no?
no, it's from the internet. I don't
Okay.
have pictures of what my dad made because he literally used to make that stuff 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We never memorialized it in photograph,
Hopefully
unfortunately.
one more time so you get
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I don't even think iPhones were a thing when
My
this was
God.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, my my picture is the one that my dad made.
Oh, your dad didn't let you eat fast food, right?
Yeah. To those wondering, my dad didn't allow any fast food or any outside food of any kind growing up. So we didn't have like I can't relate to families or really anyone who like some of their home traditions relies on food cooked elsewhere. I can't like my dad made everything. He even made bread from fucking scratch and he would make pizza from scratch. Like everything is just like you want to eat it, fine, I'll do it at home, but you can't order it out. And yeah, I mean it's cool I guess when you think about it like that, but it also left me with a lot of like when I was out on my own, I wanted to try everything and I had no control whatsoever and fast food was like brand new to me.
Yeah, I think we had like Popeyes together
Yeah, I was like that's the
for the
first time
first.
I ever
Yeah.
had fried chicken.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I think, the first day we met,
Yeah.
basically the day that I rescued you from the
Yeah.
from One King.
I'll never forget it. It was that same night.
But like now you guys eat like meals at restaurants and stuff like as a
Yeah, so
family.
he was okay. For some reason, he was okay with going to a restaurant. Yeah.
Okay.
So it
But
had,
never bringing it home.
yeah, never bringing it home. And like, it's like he doesn't, it's almost like he viewed it as like it would like taint.
I feel like it would maybe create a relationship where it would be casual for, you to bring
Yeah.
outside food home, and
And
you don't want that.
maybe he's like a bit of a bougie guy and he just doesn't like the whole thing with like the packaging and the plastic and the whole tradition. He wanted it to be like very traditional, I guess. My grandmother has a similar mentality and so maybe if I call her, she might like shed some insight as to why they're so
No, I
not
heard that.
about ordering. But I'm worried that it's the same mentality, but it's a different reason. Like my grandmother, it could just be like a generational thing where she's just like not doesn't fucking
Doesn't
vibe
agree with
with.
it, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's that, but we'll see. Dang. Allô, mamie.
حبيبتي comment ça va؟
Ça va. Et toi, mamie?
Ça va حبيبتي هاو خالي dis-lui bonjour.
Hi, Issam. Tout va bien, tout va bien. I'm actually recording right now.
Recording what?
My podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Who do you want to talk to?
I wanted about both of you, but I actually had a quick question with for mommy because I wanted to ask dad this, but he is sleeping. So maybe mommy will have the answer.
Okay, ask her.
Okay, mommy.
Qu'est-ce que tu lui as dit? Il sourit. Qu'est-ce que tu lui as dit? Quelque chose qui lui a fait plaisir?
Non, donc parce que j'ai envie de te poser une question. Je suis maintenant en train de filmer mon épisode.
Ah, ok.
Et donc j'avais une petite question pour toi. Si tu veux me répondre, tu peux en français, n'importe quoi. On va pas le garder. Je vais traduire tout, mais je veux juste te poser une question.
Oui, oui, j'ai compris.
Alors, juste en général, dis-moi pourquoi toi et papa et la famille en général, pourquoi vous aimez pas manger dehors ou bien commander de la nourriture de dehors?
Oh, on a mangé tellement dehors, Adila.
Non, mais commander à la maison.
Ah, commander.
Oui.
J'ai commandé une fois les feuilles de vigne. Ils étaient, tu sens, on dirait qu'il n'y a pas de viande, il n'y a que du riz.
Ok.
Maintenant que les choses sont chères, ben, ça a changé. Peut-être avant c'était mieux. Le kibbé, il faut qu'elle soit le kibbé. Ceux qui connaissent c'est quoi le kibbé. Il faut qu'elle soit fine parce que c'est du bourrol.
Mhm.
Tu dois la rendre l'épaisseur fine et tu la farces. Avec celle-là, non, elle était très épaisse.
Ok, d'accord.
Ça fait que c'était pas très beau. C'est pas parce que. Ok.
D'accord, je comprends. Donc c'est surtout la qualité, tu veux dire.
Oui, c'est ça, c'est la qualité.
Ok,
Ouais.
tu m'as bien répondu.
Ah, Habibti. Ok, yalla, bye.
Ok, bye bye. Okay.
Cutie.
Yes, okay, so there's a couple of reasons. Some of them are not as juicy as we think, but a lot of it boils down to quality. And it just made me think about what you said. Maybe they've been ordering from like the wrong places, or it wasn't easy to find good quality the real versions of the food that they wanted to eat. So she was talking about like kibbe, which is what and so like they just didn't like what was out there, and like she said kibbe, like the outer layer has to be thin, and where they get it outside they kind of like they like
on that.
exactly, so they
put
get
more meat in the
they put more of the cheap stuff, so more of the
outer
layer.
layer. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. It's supposed to be thin and they make it so thick that the inside is like pooply. Yeah.
Exactly, because the outer is just like bread.
Yeah.
Or they'll just skip out like what I didn't like the quality of it. And then when it comes to my dad, what's particular about my dad is because he is very very into just like culinary arts in general. Like he just loves the world of food. That just is a personal passion of his. So I think because of that, he's like, no, I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna do it better, and like, kind of. I mean, he is good. He is good at it, so I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
And it is at the end of the day, it's his passion, right? So I'm
Yeah.
not. Who am I to judge? Like, sure, but like, yeah, and maybe there's a certain thing like He's very influenced by European culinary traditions, so maybe there's something to say there about his roots. His palate is very European, like the way he plates it as well. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
at
I've
all.
seen his Instagram.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, the texture is very satisfying.
Really.
Yeah. When you get the chance to pass down traditions, what do you think is going to be your signature dish?
When I get the chance.
Hash.
There's a lot of things that I want to pass down. I definitely want, in general, I think there isn't like one thing that I want to pass down, but I think it's the general curiosity toward food.
Yeah.
I will start it off very, very early.
Same.
Just things I love, I will start them off very early. No chicken tender. Like this, my kid is not gonna be a chicken tenders kid.
Oh,
Fuck no. Yeah.
fuck that.
Judge chicken tenders adults. There's no way my kid is gonna. start
Yeah, no.
their life going in
No.
knowing what chicken tenders are. You will know everything else. But like if you have to learn about it, you learn about it from school or from some other
Yeah.
like loser classmate. But I am not as your mother. No way. Not happening.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not our standard.
Yeah, not my standard.
Ugh, I love that.
So I will raise my kid with very high standards for food, good quality stuff. It will
Same.
be a little bit expensive, but it's okay.
Yeah.
There's always a price to pay. I know my parents paid a price when they raised me the way that they did, so.
Right, right, right.
But honestly, it's also like not that much of an investment. Like if you think about it, I mean, we're taught we kind of see
Mm.
like chicken tenders as like a cheap food, but like a little basket of chicken tenders from like Popeyes is what like nine or KFC
Right,
or
right,
whatever
right.
the hell, like $9-10. I really want
Yeah.
to make sure that they're getting good quality meals at home and different things. Like it's not just gonna be Indian, Pakistani foods because that's not the way I grew up, right? Like I didn't
Right.
just grow up eating like Indian and Pakistani foods. I grew up eating like a very diverse, I guess, portfolio of different foods
Same.
and cuisines. Exactly, you relate completely.
Anything that's got to do with restrictive eating, I'm really not on board.
Yeah, I'm not on board. Like, grow up, wear some pants, and
Yeah.
and get on with it. Chop chop. It's food. Why are you afraid of it? Um, and food is really like one of those things that like, okay, you don't like it at first, you will learn to like it later. Like
Yeah.
things are an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And if you're closed-minded about food, you're closed-minded about a lot of other
Yeah.
things. I want an open-minded baby child.
Exactly. Could not have said
Adult.
it better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
like your attitude towards food is very indicative of your attitude towards a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
And so it's like a glaring red flag for me when people are picky
Same.
eaters. At least have the
It's
openness.
it's the first thing I notice and the first thing that irks me, and to me it's like almost a litmus test.
Yeah.
It's like
No, same.
you're either with it or you're not, because if you're not, that means that I can probably guess 10 other things about you
Yeah.
based on how open or closed you are to food.
Exactly.
And yeah, I don't fuck with it. And it's surprisingly really hard. It's like honestly quite sad, really. Like it's hard to find people that have that
That
knowledge.
are on board. Yeah, yeah,
And like we had this conversation once when we were talking about, please, like, eat away. I'm just gonna go a
yeah.
ramble. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But because we talk a lot about Dubai, we talk a lot about being exposed. That was what we mentioned in the first episode about like being exposed to cultures and how that changes your mind and your taste and everything that goes with it. But it is also true because we had like analyzed this even further, you and I, one day, where we were like, it's also gonna have to come hand in hand with you accepting that and embracing it. And there are, unfortunately, like the Dubai experience has been, or the expat, I guess, experience has been wasted on a lot of families who have refused to open their minds to it.
Yeah, you're such a fucking waste if you're
Like,
not taking full advantage of it. Like,
exactly.
there's people I know here that have like never had Vietnamese food. I'm like, there
It's
is a
right there.
thriving community where you can get, and the food here is like of good caliber. When I look at like the comments or the reviews, people will be like, oh, this tastes just like back home.
Authentic,
And
yeah.
it's so hard to replicate things from where they are sometimes. And if you have access to that, take advantage of it. But people just don't care.
They just don't have that curiosity. So that's definitely the curiosity that I want to instill as well when
Yeah.
in my kids, like right away. My mom used to do that too as well. She like if I didn't like something, she would always be like, they would either like deceive me as how they do with kids, where they would be like, this is this and eat it, and she made me try
Yeah.
liver like that. Like I
Wow.
developed a taste for liver. But she would always be like, it's fine, you will like it. Like she was not gonna take no for an answer, whether it's now or in 20 years. She's like, you will
Wow.
end up liking it.
If
Yeah.
you're down to try, great. Like
Fine,
I
yeah.
had this one friend, I'm not gonna name her, but not down to try on a chicken tenders diet with other restrictions, and it was so hard to eat with her. Awful. I am never befriending people like that again. But but it's like
Same.
closed-mindedness. At least be
Yeah.
open to trying something different. Like we don't have to eat it all the time. Just like be open to it.
Yeah.
That at least it tells me that we're like a little bit not even compatible, but it just tells me how you think and that you're just open to new things.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And it's, I mean, again, it's like the psychology of it, but sometimes like someone might be down to try a new food, let's say, might, but regardless, the habit, like the first reaction they have to it is to judge it. The first thing is like, that's weird. And like, I personally, like,
Oh,
you know,
I
the
don't
word,
fuck with that either.
yeah. When I first started taking like my very first class in psychology or sociology, it was like, we do not say the word weird here. Like, it's just, weird has no freaking meaning in this room because it's just, again, it's subjective and stuff like that, but you cannot say something is weird because you don't know about it. And I just, ugh, remember how I told you, like,
Yeah.
I brought in Sichuan peppercorns, and she was like, "Ugh, why?"
That is so annoying to me considering all the places she grew up in.
Exactly. Why do you think I was like, maybe I don't want her on the pod?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, right? There's people that have expat, like that girl that I'm talking about, the chicken tenders diet, is an expat. So it was shocking to
What a
me. I'm like,
shame.
you grew up in this third culture environment. Why
Yeah.
don't you eat?
Yeah.
Like,
Truly, truly such a shame.
and like where we come from, like there are people that have been in the business of food for years, like for almost a century. Like the guy that makes nihari at there's a really famous like nihari spot in Dubai. They're literally called karigars. Karigar means like a workman, like what is the name?
A slave. No.
Not a slave, but like a skilled worker. Like
Okay, yeah.
karigar is the word that you use for like anyone that works in something that is like skill based, like even in textiles, in
Okay.
shoes, and they use that word for certain foods. Like this person is a
Oh,
karigar of nihari. That means like they have a
wow.
lot of skill.
Yeah, it's like a craft.
Yeah, it's a craft. It's a craft. Exactly. They're craftsmen. And they are so skilled. And so there are craftsmen for things like niharis and certain kebabs and halim and biryani and stuff. And they literally have like generations worth of like knowledge and
Yeah,
tradition that like the family recipes, like it's an heirloom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm starving. You're like,
Bing.
okay, I think we're at time.
Thank you everyone for listening. Again, a little reminder, we are on Coffee and most of our links are on Instagram, so you can find any one of our links on there, including our Coffee link. It does take a lot of effort and investment of time, money, resources to film these episodes and bring them to you every week. So if you're able to support in that little way, it would go a very, very long way. Yep.
Thank you in advance.
Yeah. Thank you.
This part never gets easier. If you're watching on YouTube, please give it a like and subscribe. I've always can't believe I'm actually saying this for real now. I just say it in front of the mirror. And if you're on Spotify, you can give us a follow. Tune in to socials where we'll start posting more about food on the weekends. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. I'm Amina.
And I'm Uneza, and we're signing off, and we'll see you at the next stop.
Bye.